Good morning from Tucson, Realty Executives Tucson Elite. I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you personally for stopping by today and taking a few minutes out of your busy day to maybe work a little bit more on your business and sharpen your axe, as it were. The Realty Executives Tucson Elite Board wanted me to express to you, again, their thanks and their commitment to you to make sure that you and your business are expanding and growing by the leaps and bounds that you deserve. So that being said, they wanted me to go ahead and convey to you a message today that will help your business grow. That being said, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about it. Open houses, for example, are what we're going to talk about today. Okay? Now, if you've been in the business a while, or maybe if you're brand new, you've probably had more than one open house in your life. And you've probably experienced that depressing feeling when you go there for 4 hours and either nobody shows up or maybe just one or two people show up. Or the people who do show up are just tire kickers and they're wasting a bunch of your time. Well, what we're going to talk about today is going to help eliminate that. Remember, open houses should not be the only form of getting business for yourself. But if you decide to go ahead and do open houses to help augment the business that you're gaining, okay, then at least do it some ways that we're going to show you that will help increase your odds of getting more people in your home, okay? So let's first start talking about, the open house concept itself, okay? There's a couple important things you need to understand. When we're talking about open houses, okay, understand, you need to get this really clear, that only 2% of the people that come in the home actually are going to buy that home for an open house. Now, if you've been in the business a while, you know this, okay? And the reason why we do it is to gain buyers. And the way we rationalize it to sellers is we say, well, look, our idea hopefully is to sell your home, but if we can't sell it, maybe we can get a buyer to sell one of our other listings, and vice versa. When we hold those homes open, maybe we'll collect a buyer who will buy your home, and that's why we do it, is to try and get as many buyers into the homes so we can try and sell our own listings, and that's the way we convey it to the seller. But you must understand that you have less than a 2% chance of actually getting this home sold. That being said, okay, let's go ahead and focus on some fundamentals of that open house, all right? Open houses themselves, number one thing you need to remember is it relies completely on signage, okay? On signage. That is the sole cause of why a home will or will not have a successful open house, all right? Make no mistake about it, okay? If you have 2 signs, okay, you're going to get a small response. If you have 10 signs, you're going to have a pretty good response. If you have 20 signs, you're going to have even better response. Okay, I mean, that's just natural logic here. All right, but the question is, what the hell do you do with all these signs? All right, so let's take a look at this. Okay. Now, you may have seen on some of the emails where I got in a little bit of trouble for doing some of the emails we did. I'm sorry, some of the signage that we did in Oro Valley. Okay, Oro Valley was not very happy about the way that we did our open house signs. Now, those signs, as you saw, were done probably a little bit incorrectly. That's not really the way I think that it should be done. Unfortunately, it was done that way. So let me try and tell you the way you should do your open house signs. Oro Valley is probably not a good place to do it because they have some pretty specific and very stringent laws with regards to open house signs. If you place your signs incorrectly, then they will go ahead and throw them away. Open house signs are not cheap, and unless you're eager to go ahead and get them, get rid of them, I would recommend you probably stay out of Oro Valley. It's just a lot easier. But in Tucson itself, okay, let's pretend that you've got a house here that you're going to hold open, okay? And on that home, let's say, there's a couple major streets, okay? This street goes to the home. This is a main street. This is another main street right here. What you need to understand is traffic flow, okay? Now, Google Maps has a great place that describes the volume. Okay, I think you can see it on Google Maps / city volume, street volume, or something like that. And what you can see is on those main streets where the volume is coming from. Okay, so let's find out, or let's just through your own experience, let's say that most folks are pretty heavy driving in this direction on, say, a Friday at Monday or whatever at 1 o'clock, Sunday at 1 o'clock, whatever. What you want to do is at that intersection, you want to go ahead and put a sign right here. Obviously, that's what everybody does, to point in the direction of the home. But what most agents will not do is put other signs here and here. Okay? Maybe another 20 feet, 30 feet, something along those lines. Okay? Because as the traffic travels here, they see the first sign. And they're, well, wait a minute, what? Then the second sign, they see it. It says, oh, goodness, open house. Okay. Third sign, go that way. Oh, okay, great. All right. So you have 3 signs on this direction. Okay. The first one's to grab attention. The second one's to go ahead and tell a little bit about it. And the third one's to tell them how to get there. Okay. Now, the same thing goes, okay, on the opposite side of the street. All right. Now, if the traffic is headed this way, okay, it makes no sense whatsoever to put signs on the opposite side of the street. Okay? Now, I don't know how basic to get it to you, but it makes no sense to put it over there, because if they're traveling in this direction, then they're not going to see that very easily. They certainly won't see what you're saying, and they certainly will not be able to act in time to move. Now, in this particular circumstance, remember, these signs need to be at least 20 feet apart, okay? And try to use at least 3, all right? Now, same thing goes on this side. Okay, remember, you're staying on the side of the oncoming, of the traffic. You stay with the flow of traffic. Be sure that you do not obstruct the view, okay? When somebody's trying to make a turn, they want to make sure that they don't get in a car wreck, and your signs will certainly block traffic if you're not careful, okay? Now, the same thing goes on the main street here, all right? Now, in this case, you're going to have the signs on this side, and the arrow, the directional going there. Here, same, and then directional, okay? On the street itself, okay? In front of the house, this is the yard, let's say, okay? Have a lot of signs, okay? As many as you can put, all right? And the reason why is you want this to really show up as just a, wow, it's right there. It's in your face. Now think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You know, these sorts, you're using 10, 12 signs real fast, real easy, okay? But the question is, Carl, how in the world do we go ahead and pay for 12 signs if they're $25 a piece? Well, there's a couple ways you can look at this, okay? Number one way to look at this, look, you can't break an egg, okay, without, we can't make an omelet without breaking an egg. That's one way to do it. You know, understand that it's going to cost you a little bit of money. Don't trip over pennies, okay, when you're making dollars. Think about the big picture here, okay? If you're going to make on this home, if you're going to make $3,000, isn't it worth $250 worth of signage that you can use over and over and over, okay? So think that through. But if, on the other hand, you can't simply afford it, okay? You can't do it, all right? Then a place that you may want to go to is called Bandit Signs. I think it is. It's Bandit Signs, banditwarehouse.com. Bandit Sign Warehouse. It's something along those lines. Bandit Warehouse, Bandit Sign Warehouse, something like that.com, okay? And they will go ahead and they will sell you corrugated plastic, okay, for $3 a piece, or I'm sorry, maybe $1 a piece, $2 a piece, something along those lines if they're blank, all right? And on those, you just take a black marker, all right? You go ahead and you put in the arrows where it needs to go, open house, whatever, that you're going to put on there, okay? Put it on the sign itself, all right? Get the blanks. They cost you maybe $1, $1.50 tops. They come with a little H frame that goes in the ground, right? And on here, you can write anything you want to write, okay? It's good to get yellow. And then take, your Sharpie, handwrite it. It's okay if it doesn't look professional. That's fine. In fact, it's better. You can say, something like that, cheap house, if it's like a fix-up or a foreclosure, short sale, something like that, cheap house, fantastic deal, something along those lines, if you don't want to go ahead and put in price. The best thing you can do, okay, is put in down payment programs and things of that nature. If you're on the south side where it can qualify for something like a $1,000 down program, then you can go ahead and put down $1,000 down, and then you put in the Regulation Z requirements. All right, the 3%, $1,000 down. Interest rate's 3.9%, APR is 4.5. Your monthly payment is blah blah blah, P&I, whatever it is. And then you've got Realty Executives, Tucson Elite. You don't need to worry about your name and phone number at this point, okay? Because they're not going to see and look up your number. They just need to know where to go. All right. So in this particular case, this sign, okay, very cheap to get, easy to produce because you're handwriting it on there with a black Sharpie, okay? Now the hard part, all right, that I've discovered is getting the sign itself into the ground. How in the world do you get this, wire sign, this wire H frame into the hard ground that we have, okay? Now I had a real tough time trying to figure that out. But when I figured it out, it seemed so painfully easy. I don't even know why it didn't occur to me. But the way that you handle it is very simple. What you do is you get yourself a cordless drill, okay? You get a long drill bit, just maybe even a regular drill bit. And then go to the sign itself, go to the ground, take your drill, all right, and drill the ground around it with a cordless drill. Like that, and then pop it in and you're done, okay? Very simple to do, very fast, very easy, and you can do that in no time with minimal damage, and you can go ahead and put things back together where they need to be when you're done, okay? So that being said, you've got your signs out, okay? And it's now Sunday, Saturday, whatever day it is you're going to have it. But what do you do prior to that, okay? Now that you got your signage set up, okay, you're ready for an open house. That's what you're thinking. Well, no, that's not really true. Because the second thing you need to do with an open house is make sure you do your prep work. Okay? Make sure you do your prep work. The fact is that in this house, okay, wherever it is, chances are there is an apartment complex, okay, nearby. All right? And in those apartment complexes, think about it. If you've got a house that's $120,000, and they're paying $700, $900, whatever dollars per month to live in an apartment, then they more than likely could afford to live in a home. The benefit here is if you can reach these people, okay, they have already been, their credit has already been checked. For the most part, if it's in the $700, $800, $900 a month range, their credit's already been checked by the landlord when they've gone in there and made their application. So obviously their credit more often than not is okay. Okay, they have a place that they're not wanting to live in probably. If you've lived in an apartment, you know what I mean. And they need to know about your open house. So a way to do that is go ahead and put signs near the open house. If you want to go ahead and direct them through the main streets or maybe your phone number, whatever it is, that's a way to go ahead and reach them. Because they may not want you to solicit their people. They may not be real happy about you going door to door and letting people know about the fact that you're having an open house. However, okay, the thing about that is, if they don't have a no soliciting sign, or maybe you don't see it, okay, whatever it is, okay, now I'm not going to tell you that you need to take these flyers and go into an area that says no soliciting, all right, I'm not going to tell you that, but what I am saying is, the way I understand it, and I might be wrong, and I probably am, but soliciting includes you knocking on the door and saying, hi, my name is Karl. I'm having an open house down the way. Wanted to see if you'd be interested in coming or thinking about buying or something along those lines. It does not preclude you, in my mind, from going out with a flyer and letting people know about the property. If you roll it up, stick it in the door, then I don't see that that would be soliciting. You're just letting people know about the thing being available, okay? Now, that being said, if you go out, let's pretend that you're going to have your open house on Sunday, right? Let's say it's Sunday at 1 to 4. You need to do this no later than Friday at 5. Not later than Friday at 5, okay? Because by this point, they have already started to schedule their weekend. If they haven't already scheduled it, okay, then they're going to schedule it. So you need to have it no later than Friday at 5, okay? Now, part of that work there will help increase people coming into your home. So Friday comes, you don't want to do it on Wednesday or Thursday because, by that point, you're doing it Wednesday, Thursday. We're talking 4 or 5 days. They're going to forget. Have it Friday, okay? Put it on a yellow piece of paper, okay? Something yellow. Yellow is pastel yellow, something like that, because it's easy for them to find. They'll see it. And if they tend to put it on their desk or whatever when they come in, okay, remember that piece of paper will be easy to spot if they need it again. So you got a stack of white bills or white, whatever, mail or whatever, and then you got your yellow form of paper that says, hey, come out to the open house, blah, 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 blah. It's easy for them to find. That yellow piece of paper will stick out, and then, they're saying, oh, yeah, okay. And then on your sign, yellow, again, color coordinated here, then when they're driving down the street, they say, oh, yeah, that's that one place. They see the yellow sign. They think the yellow paper. Great. We need to go out there. Okay? That being said, that's your prep work. Okay? Time. What time should we hold this? Now, it's customary for agents to have open houses on Sunday, 1 to 4. Or maybe even Saturday, 1 to 4. Okay? That's customary. The reason why it's customary is because we assume that people are off from work and they got nothing else to do. They're out looking around, right? Nothing could be further from the truth. If you look at statistics, okay, you will find that the worst time for real estate is Sunday 1 to 4, okay? The least amount of traffic, the least amount of homes, and the least active day is Sunday, and it's 1 to 4. What are the most active times for people to see things? Okay, well, the most active times, okay, are going to be a Saturday, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, okay? Saturdays are good, especially in the morning, okay, because people are out. They're out going having breakfast or whatever, okay? Kids and stuff, they go to soccer generally in the afternoon. Remember, look, if it's important in a presidential campaign, then it's got to be important to you. You have to understand that the soccer moms, and I'm a soccer dad, if you will, I got to take the kids to soccer and all the other things. Afternoons are booked. You got games, you got this, you got that, you got no time to do anything, okay? Remember, people have lives to lead. So you have to cater to that time. Most of the time, they're having games and stuff. Your families are having games and soccer practice and so on and so forth, on Saturday afternoons, Sunday afternoons, because everybody's competing for that time, okay? Remember, the soccer coaches and the leagues and things like that, or baseball, the same way, they're all trying to compete for that same limited amount of time that your buyer has. And if they're knowing in their head, okay, we've got to do something because the parents are off, then we need to do it on Saturday or Sunday. And then here you come, okay, you're going to be pretty low on the food chain when it comes to finding a thing to do because the kids in the back, I want to go to soccer, doing their thing, okay? So you got to remember that. So Saturday morning is a good time. Sunday in the morning, not a good time. A lot of folks will be going to church or religious services or whatever. So that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. Now, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. Okay, well, think about it this way. Unless people are lining up at your door, all right? Unless they're lining up at your door at 10 in the morning to come and see you to list or sell homes, okay? Then why are you in the office, all right? You've got to find a way to get out to the public. So one of the advantages, let's say, for example, that a site agent has, okay, they have a product, people walk in, they sell them a home. That's how it works. You can act as a site agent, okay? Find a vacant home, find a home that maybe isn't vacant, or maybe the sellers are on vacation, or perhaps they're working or whatever, and they don't mind you being in the house. Hold that thing open from 10 to 6, all right? Then when you go in the office, you start doing whatever it is you need to do. Then you go out to this home, you stay from 10 to 6, okay? During that 10 to 6 time frame, you're going to be doing paperwork, making phone calls on your cell phone, have web access, things of that nature. Make sure you bring a couple contracts, listing contracts as well as sales. And that way you can go ahead and make the most of your time while you're there. Now, I would not recommend you do this every single day because that will be an incredible waste of time. But if you decide to do that, say once a week, I don't think you can hurt yourself. Okay? Now, the question is, what other times are good? Well, think about your customer. Okay? Most of your customers are probably, young families with kids. Okay? That's a big part of the population that we service. Okay? So what are they doing? All right? Now, I got to thank Dina Westermeyer for teaching me this, and this is a great technique. I never even thought of this in all my years. And I'll tell you, what they came up with was school times. Now, think about it this way. Mom and Dad, they're dropping the kids off, okay, at 8 a.m. for school. All right? They're busy. They got to go to work. They're rushed. They got to chop, chop, chop. They got to do stuff, right? Then, when they pick up the kids, if they're in elementary or middle school, school tends to get out anywhere between 1:45 and maybe 2:15. Okay? If they're in TUSD, okay, then they have after school programs like happy hours or things of that nature, okay, which the kids can go into, and that's fine. But if maybe mom's working a part-time job or maybe dad's staying at home or however that family dynamic works, generally somebody's picking up the kids at that time. Okay, if you're my family, Judy's going to come pick the kids up. And she has time after that. A little bit of time, not a lot, but some. Find an open house or a house that you can hold open, all right? Get your signs out at, say, 11 o'clock in the morning. Be there, say, at 1 o'clock. When the kids are getting out of school, you've got your house here, right? The school's over here, all right? You've got signs everywhere. Mom, Dad, whatever, they're picking up the kids. They're driving along, they see your signs, they're picking up the kids. Hey, wait a minute, there's an open house over there. Maybe we need to stop by, okay? That's a great way to go ahead and pick up clients as well. Thank you, Dina, for telling me that one. That was a great thought. Okay, so time. And last but not least, what do you need to bring, okay? What kind of tools do you need, all right? Tools. Well, obviously, you're going to need to bring some contracts because you just never know when that 2% person is going to walk in. So you've got to bring a contract. If you're going to be doing, say, a short sale type of home, then you definitely want to bring a contract. And the reason why is simply because, look, the seller, okay, they need to net as much as possible, but they're not making any money out of this. And there's a great opportunity for you to be able to write a contract on that home today. If a buyer comes in and says, well, how much do you think it's worth, or what are we willing to take? Say, well, it's a short sale, and so it's basically one of those scenarios where the seller needs to go ahead and negotiate with the bank and explain the situation to them and try to go ahead and make that deal happen, okay? So obviously bring a contract. Bring a listing contract. Because you never know if somebody's down the street is thinking about selling their home as well. And you can go ahead and stop up the open house for right now, go out there, show them the property, take a look at their property, whatever it is, and list them the property. Obviously, your computer, maybe some cost sheets, which your lender can provide, okay, to let people know how they can afford this home, okay? So bring these items with you. The computer is good if you have web access, like 3G, 4G, wireless, something like that. So you can search MLS with those people. If you have somebody that can come with you, okay? Kurt Stinson taught me this one. This is a great one. He used to have his wife come along with him on an open house, and while he had her there, all right, she was unlicensed, so she could have the home open, but she couldn't necessarily talk about the price and certain things. Kurt was responsible for that. But if somebody came along and said, I'm not really interested in this house, Kurt would say, well, you know what? There's 2-3 houses down the way that I do know about that you might be interested in. Let me go show them to you. We can go see it right now. So he would go show the home, all right, while the partner stays behind to make sure everything stays okay, stays open, etc. Okay, until he comes back, and then he's able to go ahead and pick up again. So using a partner is also very good. Okay, so that being said, that's just some of the basics of what you can do to go ahead and increase your traffic in an open house. There's a lot of other things that you could do. Now, obviously in 25-30 minutes, I can't go over every single thing that you can do about doing an open house, but there are a lot more techniques that you can use. Again, this should not be your primary form of getting business because it's very, very unpredictable. You can't necessarily recommend or know when you're going to get your next deal. But if you want to augment what you're doing, that's certainly a great way to pick up a quick buyer and make that happen for yourself. If, on the other hand, you'd like to go ahead and get some free coaching on this sort of issue, then feel free to give me a call, 520-403-6227. I'll be happy to share with you everything I know about it. Obviously, it doesn't cost you anything. That's my gift to you. That's Realty Executive Tucson Elite's board gift to you. They've gone ahead and had me go ahead and work with you to try and help you in any way we can to get this business of yours going great. So anyway, if you liked what we had, then please don't forget to go ahead and like, subscribe, and thumbs up on this to help us out. We really do appreciate it. Any comments, questions, go ahead and put them down in the section below. Thanks a lot, and we'll look forward to working with you soon. Have a great day. Make it a powerful selling weekend. Bye-bye.